Welcome back to continuing coverage of the 2024 PDGA Junior Disc Golf World Championships presented by Innova. We are back here once again for this PDGA Major, Tulsa, Oklahoma at Hunter Park. We've seen some action round one. The course playing a little mean today. Ace Run Productions bringing you this coverage on behalf of the PDGA. Once again in the booth, it's Felix Vega along with Jennifer Allen.
Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, Hunter Park definitely shows its teeth. Some difficult to reach birdie holes. So going for par at this course is a great game plan. You can see we have one player, Trinity Bryant, under par. And let's see what happens on the back nine, starting on hole number 10, 235 feet. This is a par 3. You can attack with a hyzer line along the right or a little more direct, soft turnover here along the left. The basket is going to be tucked over behind these guardian trees. Unusual green as well. There's several unusual greens here, so not too often do you have a ditch kind of surrounding the basket, but brings in a variety.
Yeah, the creek adding quite a bit of character throughout this course.
So Virginia taking this right side, punching all the way around, and takes an unfortunate kind of little roll down, so she's going to have a elevated basket. Look at that.
Little yanked there on the right side there for Rebecca. That same purple disc we've seen her throw quite a bit over the first two rounds.
Trinity hitting it, but just not having the stability to hyzer back to the left. The humidity is building here. We've had some nice cloudy morning, little bit of breeze, and a lot cooler temps, but now it's getting very steamy on the back nine. And I think a problem that most players deal with is especially when it feels so much cooler than the previous day, is you're like, oh, it's so nice. I'm not going to drink a lot of water. I'm not hot. And then all of a sudden the heat builds and you're already kind of in a hole.
Yeah.
So you can get dehydrated or overheated very quickly in these conditions. We saw that in Emporia.
We did.
For Masters Worlds. Trinity given a good layup there. Very smart. So this is Rebecca for par. And that is not a putt that we've seen from her.
And the approach as well got away from her.
Yeah, she's usually very dead on. So we kind of ended the front nine seeing Rebecca getting pretty tired and some uncharacteristic throws and putts from her. Virginia's still doing great, except for we need a ladder out of the ditch.
That ditch is deep.
It's so deep down in there. But a great birdie.
Fortunate bogey there for Rebecca. Going to bring her to 2 down overall on the event, 1 over. Just a couple holes ago, she was under par. Unfortunately, going in the wrong direction here.
And a little tap in there for Allison.
Hole 11, 340 feet, par 3 here.
This is a really difficult par 3 as well. I'd like to see if some of these girls can get their drive all the way around. You have a couple of guardian trees, plenty of room to work with along the right side. So you don't have to attack the basket if you're not really trying to get that birdie. Play it safe around and then approach in from the open side, because that OB Creek is all along the left. So you can see how aggressive that they are going to attack this. Lots of power, great angle out of Virginia's disc there, and some perfect ground play. That's probably like 50-50 how that's going to skip, either good or bad for you. So works out exactly how Virginia was hoping. Let's see if Trinity can follow. Again, not too stable. Needing that to really come in a little bit more to give her an aggressive birdie putt, because that's a scary
one, yeah.
That's a scary little putt there.
We've got out of bounds just looming behind the basket as well.
Love the height, and you can see the disc doing exactly what it's supposed to. Going to get her just inside circle 1.
Well done.
Man, and that looked exactly the same, just one little branch. And that seems to be the case anytime you're getting tired, right? Or having some bad luck. It just seems to snowball. So in a very unfortunate break again from Allison. And
good recovery, though, that time with the Toro. But you can see in her face.
Yeah, she's depleting quickly. And that looked like a great bid from Trinity, just not falling at the perfect time. But smart way to attack that basket.
Yeah.
Gave it a look, but it's not going over the edge.
Oh, that's going to go out of bounds.
And that's the difference of the putting styles. So Allison has that direct high spin putt where Trinity does the loft. Makes a good comeback. I would bet on her bogey putt every time.
Oh, yeah.
It's
she's solid.
Dead center. Virginia with an excellent birdie.
Well done.
There's a great par save from Rebecca, who also goes by Becca.
Okay.
Well played hole for these women.
All right, and we're here at hole 12, 275 feet. You see the danger right off the bat here.
Yeah, danger kind of everywhere. Again, giving you two options though. You can attack this directly at the basket or go that hyzer route around the right, taking away the OB creek. This OB line actually comes up very high. Pretty easy if you hit any kind of tree that you're going to find some OB. So I love the design of the course. You can play aggressive or there's plenty of safe options.
Yeah, that bailout to the right is there.
It is, and it's funny, like, I guess it's just like a difference of who you see play the course, right? You don't know how the locals play it. So all these girls are just going at it. You don't see them really taking the less risky shots here. Trinity kind of taking it, but taking it low. You can take that high hyzer around the right, Firebird, get it out there, let it drop in on that open putting green. Because that cedar does not
drags
really,
that one in.
Yeah, it doesn't let you really punch through. It's a very thick tree there.
Virginia did stay safe on her drive. It was hard to see from the camera angle, but she is safe on the left side. This one tracking and does punch through.
There you go. Prove me wrong. I had to say it just so that disc would do that. So yeah, just in front of that OB line. I'm going to give her a big uphill putt. Very smart play. At this point, when it's nice and steamy, there's no reason to give yourself a 10-foot tester. Try to get it right underneath the basket.
Limit the stress as much as you can at this point. There you see Rebecca somewhere in there.
And it's so hard. When you're sweaty, the last thing you want to touch is a cedar tree.
Yeah. Because you're taking part of it with you, no matter what you do. Punches out there too, just outside circle's edge, getting some help from her caddy. Allison with a long look here for the birdie. Outside
circle one, boom!
Yes!
Been waiting to see that all day. We know she's got the skill. Just those first few rounds playing on the cameras, you guys are so intimidating is what it is.
We try not to be seen, but we get it.
All right, this is to save par. We're just inside circle one.
Ooh, a little low left. Again, uncharacteristic from what we've seen.
Yeah. At this point, I have told sister, go tell her to drink some water.
Yeah. It's the old saying that if you're feeling thirsty, that means you're already dehydrated.
Yeah, and I think when you're in it and you feel like you're a million strokes over, right? You feel like, oh, this is not my character, so, you know, even though it was maybe for a birdie, it feels like a double bogey.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't feel the same, so.
Piles on. Hole 13, 335-foot par 3. Pretty straightforward shots.
Yes, it is. Again, bringing in the downward slope, and not only does it go downward here off the tee, but it does gradually slope to the left. So you're gonna see some disc hyzering off with that stability more than typically, because it has that little bit of an angle to it.
Yeah.
A little bit of a right to left tailwind. But that's hard because you've got this little hill in front of you, so you don't really feel that downward slope off the tee.
That one getting robbed of some distance there by the late tree hit.
Yeah, I like the line though. That takes away the OB sidewalk over here. Virginia really needing that disc to be understable in thick grass.
Okay, she's safe.
Sidewalk really hasn't been in play much, and so that's one of those things you don't even see it off the tee. So with this heat, you might kind of forget that it's even there.
Trinity putting herself right in the middle.
And the wind was kind of gusty. It would blow for a second and then stop. So you could tell that one was going left, right out of the hand. Unfortunately, she's going to add on another stroke. Looks like we've got a couple cards stacking up over there on hole 15.
Hole 17 is the culprit. It backed everybody up all day, and it just caused a domino effect.
Yeah, it's a very difficult hole coming up. Perfect approach, getting it up there.
Maybe a little shorter than she would have liked there, especially when you feel like you're struggling.
Yeah, that thick grass. It looked like it was just going to skip exactly to that perfect distance and just hung up.
Long bid for Virginia.
Virginia is holding steady. We got to see what she, is it Gatorade? Is it a little extra? Oh. And again, when you're feeling down, everything bad is going to happen at that moment.
Yeah. Solid par putt there for Allison. Breaking the hole down nicely, and Virginia doing the same. She's solid all day.
She
One
is.
under, 5-5 overall.
Playing good. Doesn't seem like the heat is bothering her one bit.
Yeah.
Trinity used to that Florida heat and humidity as well. And these Canadians, you know.
We saw with Sandy Hendel.
Yes, it's hard when you're not used to this on the daily.
In hole 14, 320-foot par 3, a little bit of shade to help you on the tee shot here, but then wide out and wide open.
Yep, pretty simple shot. Just punch it out there to the right, let that disc come back down. Again, it will tend to hyzer out a little quickly if you're on this downward slope. It will pull your disc to the left. You do see the OB pond just behind the basket, so make sure you don't go too far to the right or too long to add on another stroke.
Yeah. A quick shout out on the previous hole, Bryn Davis was the only birdie on hole 13.
Excellent. And Allison again showing us incredible distance, going to be just outside circle 1.
Virginia trying to get over on it, not quite holding the line.
Yeah, if that could have had a little more flip, that would have glided right up to the basket. But that's scary. You don't want to flip it into the pond. Good angle, just a little too low. It'll catch in that thick grass.
She should be able to get up and down from there. She's shown great touch with her putter approaches.
There's the wide hyzer line.
Get on up there.
And gets a good skip.
Okay. Just going to give her a long look if she's feeling frisky. All thumbs up from Eliezra.
So again, going with that little soft approach with the putter, laying it up.
Beautiful.
I think if I was caddy right here, I would definitely want to even just say lay it up. You want to get those couple of pars going. Yeah. Just because of that. She got very lucky. You could easily get that down roll. She needs a few tap-ins right now. Oh,
speaking of down roll.
I'm going to quit talking. I feel like everything. I actually even stepped away at this moment. I wasn't watching. She's like, I looked down. What happened? That has good height. Don't you dare do it.
It did sit.
Whew.
But that is a scary, scary
She's
moment
had
there.
a tough break all around as well. So needing a good one there. So Virginia giving another big bid.
And that one does sit as well on the back side of this green.
Trinity's like, I want nothing to do with any of that. You guys are silly.
She's playing her game. She's 1 under so far, just 1 back of the lead so far. So,
yeah, definitely one of those courses. Take the easy birdies. Don't get too aggressive. And with this heat, the strokes are going to start adding up for you in a good way.
Yeah.
There we go.
There. Closing stretch coming up. All right, from no birdies on hole 14, a hole that's a bit more birdieable here, hole 15 at 355, but gettable.
Yeah, 355, but that downhill slope and wide open area to really work the disc is gonna hopefully allow the girls to get a little more distance, and with a solid putt, try to grab a birdie on the 15th. One of our nicer greens on the course, as in less challenging. And it feels good to really have the space, no risks, no OB sidewalks or ponds in the way. So just really get everything you have left on this drive.
That one going to be circle 2 there for Allison. Trinity getting some nice turn out of this disc.
Yeah, full drive. Gonna be over there to the left with an open bid. Great height, nice and flat.
It's gonna get any skip? It does.
And a little skip, so just outside circle 1.
About 40 feet or so.
And she was hitting those like no problem on round 1, so we know she has it in her. Just does she have the energy?
Again, a little early left, going towards the next tee pad. As you see a disc flying on the next hole.
Yeah, that's a fun little one we have coming up. Trinity again with the just soft approach.
Beautifully done.
I feel like one of those could just drop in. She has such a good touch on it. Good little jumper by Virginia. Goes a little long.
Allison lining this one up here. You see Jenna has returned and delivered some goods to our
Canadian
Canadian friends.
Electrolytes for my Canadian friends.
Yeah.
Nothing like some good B12 and electrolytes, you know, to get you going. And I wish I would have recorded it.
Oh my gosh, it immediately works.
Because it would have been a great bid for Zip This.
There's the smile.
And we did make her put the cold rag on the neck.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing what just trying to cool your body temperature down a little bit, especially you get hot and emotional and then you're even adding more heat in your body.
Yeah.
So cooling down. We needed a water hose to squirt these girls down a little bit. Sprinkler.
Well, some of them were hanging around the splash pad after the round.
Oh, we did for sure.
Next couple of putts there for the ladies. Allison picking up the par as well.
Beautiful save.
Trinity, the last one to go here with her par putt. And that one birdie that we saw was the only birdie on this hole today. So well done there by Rebecca. Hole 16, a fun one, 220-foot par 3.
And it is just over this hill, so a straight shot. You can do a little low hyzer, but you want to make sure that you don't put too much on it or use too stable of a disc to hyzer off to the left very quickly. Watch that one guardian thick tree on the right and a very tall elevated basket. I did try to entice these FJ18 and FJ15 with a awesome Innova umbrella. So they have a little bit of extra, you see it, ooh, we had a couple of close shots
ones,
there.
yeah.
So 2 lucky players will be getting an Innova umbrella and a Halo Mako 3. That Has
Settle.
the extra juice. Come on, Allison, settle. She's been eating extra spinach. We're going to have to work on her disc selection.
This one drifting a little left for Trinity.
And that's the easiest mistake to do on this hole, but there's no danger over there, just a very difficult birdie shot.
This is the pure for Virginia. She loves throwing that putter.
Yes, and again, just glides way too long, but does stop before the OB sidewalk. So that just shows you the distance that these girls have. You know, if they're throwing putters OB long, like...
Yeah. Allison, long bid.
Yeah, and that's where you have to be careful putting too much angle on those elevated baskets because you're going to hyzer way pretty far and leave yourself a very lengthy comeback. Virginia having a very difficult lie as well around that tree. That's going to leave her about 18 feet or so.
I think that's the first forehand we've seen her throw in competition out here. That one chipped up close by Trinity.
And this is like, oh, I'm telling you, bogey putts. This girl is on 100%. But I was about to say, this is like double me. You have elevated on a stand.
Yeah.
Is that necessary? I would need a ladder. Oh.
Just short.
So close.
It's the first elevated basket they've had, besides the whale on hole 17 of the previous course, which is kind of elevated. But yeah, this is extreme.
Drastic.
Yeah.
Very drastic. We're very lucky. It's a calm day. In Oklahoma, it's pretty easy to have a 10-15, and that makes that putt very difficult.
And at this angle, the putter kind of wants to push back
Absolutely.
out.
Like that.
Like that, yeah. So you almost want to be further back and not put yourself too close on these tap-ins. Rebecca trying to figure out the logistics here.
It's just weird. That's where I went for the turbo because we had so many of these at Vista.
Yeah.
Hold on, Rebecca. Just a few more holes.
Yeah, but it doesn't get easier. Hole 17, the hardest hole on the course, 285-foot par 3 with a lot of danger.
Yeah, you want to try to play it safe around this kind of marshy area right here on the left that is OB, as well as the OB street along the right side. Try to get your disc to land and find the basket here on this ridge of a hill. OB sidewalk on the left as well. You can take a direct shot at the basket as well. These girls gonna try to catch some bunnies.
Let's see if they're successful. Very sneaky.
Yes,
very stealthy.
Definitely.
Oh, didn't work.
It was cute though. A couple of girlfriends, couple little rabbit friends. Everyone has their friend. So Rebecca going with the hyzer, needing some ground play to get a big skip.
Not quite gonna make it past the
Yeah,
OB
it
zone
really
there.
plays long.
Yeah.
Plays way longer than 285. You're taking away a lot of distance on this right side. That's range directly at the basket. So the hyzer line is going to take about 325 to get around.
Stop. There's a weird cutout there, and she finds some of the free space available.
I did hear that these lines were painted prior to mowing. So there was tall weeds all the way up to that line. So a little bit of confusion on, is this really the line that we're seeing, or is it down into that area? And unfortunately, no, there is a pretty big space of 5-6 feet or more.
Yeah.
That is, mowed grass, but it is OB.
That needs to get lucky, and unfortunately,
yeah,
right
just
in the
a
middle.
very difficult tee shot.
We saw two cards before us, and I think all four competitors on both cards right to the drop zone.
Yeah. And that's at least in a good spot where you can see the basket and with that direct line.
I'm so sorry, I
It's a good skip there and settle.
I don't care.
Virginia almost went out of turn, and then she apologized for kind of jumping the box there. But good sportsmanship all around.
Yeah, you get frustrated because you have to go and you just think, I'm just going to throw. Yeah. You forget that you are not the only one that went OB. So everyone having to bring it back to the drop zone. And that's unfortunate too. This is one of those holes where you might have went out up by the basket. And unfortunately, you're taking it all the way back to that drop zone.
Trinity, the only one you can see barely staying safe.
Such a huge advantage. So that one stroke. And almost takes complete advantage of it for the birdie. Wow, had to have been how many birdies on the hole? I mean, that had to have been like the solid bid.
There was one birdie on the hole today.
Wow.
I'm gonna butcher the name. Sane Dalseth? Sane? Sanne?
I don't even remember announcing that name. Yeah. Oh, yes, I do. That she's from Norway,
okay.
I believe.
Congratulations. The only birdie on the day on the hardest hole in the course.
Dalseth.
Okay.
Sanne Dalseth.
Sanne Dalseth. There you go. I was completely off.
I looked at it on the, so close, just left side, hyzer out. Looking down at your notes compared to how I had written everyone's name to try to say, I'm like, I don't recognize that name. Oh, yeah, because I wrote it totally different.
Virginia with the double there. Rough hole for these ladies, but played 0.95 strokes above par.
Exactly, but at least it's one of those you're not giving up too much because it's playing difficult for everyone but Trinity and our Norwegian friend.
Yeah. All right, closing it out here. Hole 18, 315-foot par 3.
Yep, got to empty out the tank and give it all you have. This one is uphill pretty drastically, so I would have to guess it plays more like 330 or so. You have your two guardian trees that are very thick and full, so trying to hit that gap between the two or maybe trying to punch it all the way around on the right side. But again, another very attackable green.
Yes.
So you do see the tree there on the left as well. So taking that line that Trinity did keeps you away from that tree.
Smart play there.
Yeah, and smart play of using the full tee box there. Allison getting on the left side, opening up the hole as well. She puts a little too much on it. I find when she's really trying to throw it hard, that's her kind of common mistake, is cranking over on it a little too hard. Rebecca with excellent release. Get her a good skip. That's going to be a very great look for birdie.
Getting a hug there from Eliezra.
That girl battled.
Yeah.
I mean to tell you, I looked over at her at one point and I was definitely reminded of Sandy when we were talking one second and then Sandy was down in Emporia the next, and we had multiple players have to DNF because of heat exhaustion in Emporia for Masters Worlds, and these temps are hotter than we had in Emporia.
Yeah.
So even though it's a little cloudier, make sure out there drinking water, because we want all of these players to finish. They put in a lot of work to get here, and we want them to have that full shot at competing for a world title.
Smart layup there for Trinity's played a solid round all day.
She really did. She played very solid, going for pars the whole day. That's exactly how we want to see her. Get a few of those strokes back. Couple of big birdies to finish for Rebecca. Unfortunately, still a few out there that I don't think she would have typically had.
Oh, we haven't seen the last of her in this, for sure.
Allison as well, with a rough day, with the kind of the nerves. She's a very solid player as well, and Virginia never looked like the heat got her.
No, a couple of bad breaks on some holes, but played solid, played her game, as we've seen so often from her these big majors.
Yeah, I feel like she just plays so much, like her body's conditioned for just continuing to battle. Trinity as well. This has been an awesome day out at Hunter Park. Thank you so much again for joining us. Let's take a look at the scores.
Yeah, there you see our card here. Trinity, the only one under par for the round itself on our card. A tough one out there. But Nesse, 3 down on the round today in these tough conditions. She's going to be back on the lead card. We saw her round 1. She'll be back. Make sure you guys come back as well to check out continuing action of the 2024 PDGA Junior Disc Golf World Championships.